I want people to be mindful and to be aware of how black men are going to start flipping their positions and getting wishy-washy with certain things. I kind of touched on it in some of my previous videos about how black men were steadily jumping ship at kind of like the 11th hour, um, when it seemed like, Trump was going to win. Then Trump finally did win, and then we watched Kanye West kind of jump on, Trump's coattails. Um, we had Lil Wayne do it. We kind of had Dave Chappelle do it. There is a general um, behavior of just, I got to go with the winning team. Whatever I think the winning team is, that's what I'm gonna go for. I can't be caught out here. It's very self-preservation first, um, which on paper sounds like a good idea, but when men do it at the expense of their entire communities, it's a disaster typically. And I'm finding kind of the same thing happen in terms of interracial dating. It seems like previously it's always been this, bed wench that, throwing in the history of rape, constantly throwing in rape in black women's faces, um, to make them feel like shit for dating out. And this is like regardless of where you stand on interracial dating. That's not the point of this, but this is an interesting. It's a pattern of how black men are going to start how they use things to their own advantage. How it's important for black women to, number one, be mindful of it, and to two, kind of like, plan accordingly and take steps accordingly. So you had them like kind of making money off of, getting attention off of calling black women out of their name, calling them bedwench every 2 seconds. Now that you kind of see that, there's this racial tension going on, and what they're trying to do is kind of use interracial couples, the image of interracial couples, as a way of saying like, oh, to cure racism. And in a society that we live in now, sexist, patriarchal, male dominated, where male violence is acceptable, condoned, whatever, whatever, the way it always has worked is women validate men. Women's images validate men. And that's where black women's role has always been, to validate black men, make black men look good. Black women going out to march on their behalf makes black men look good. And so, on this issue of interracial dating, the image of black women dating white men specifically, not Asian men, not anybody else, but white men specifically, that image has kind of popped up a lot, especially in commercials. And that is the image that's used to kind of validate um, black white relationships. Now, instead of women kind of getting the credit for that, right? Instead of black women kind of getting the credit for like, yo, you're validating us men, you're validating the men, you're making us look good, we thank you, da da da. Women kind of never get the credit. Instead, the benefits always get kind of funneled to the men exclusively, and there's no reciprocation. So I have noticed there is this kind of flip flop for black men where they went from calling you a bedwench to like getting excited, strangely and weirdly excited over images of black women dating out and being with white men. And we know, given their collective history of profound disrespect for black women, that their excitement over seeing black women dating out has nothing to do with their love of black women and that they're happy for black women. This is about what they can get out of it for themselves. And they're going to try and jump on black women's coattails and ride the gravy train of the image of black women dating out to kind of make their image of dating out seem a lot less threatening to white racism, right? And to make themselves look good. What sparked this video was the fact that I saw under a vlog of this couple. He is white, she's black. And I don't really watch them, but the title of this video was very interesting. And under in the comment section was a black guy who said like, "Oh, I don't know why, but seeing interracial couples makes me so happy." Like he just sounded so ridiculously fucking giddy. It's like a strange comment. Like I've never really even he's not but see notice he's not saying seeing black women out, dating out makes me happy. It's just a general seeing black people, seeing interracial couples makes him happy. So it's like the wording is very interesting and is very telling that okay, this is about like they're going to try and exploit this and manipulate this situation to their own advantage. Okay? And I say that with authority because that's not the first time I've seen a comment like that. I've had comments said to me from black men in my own personal life, recently. And it seems like, okay, they understand where trends are going and they're going to jump on that trend and they're going to see how they can benefit off of that trend. And I say all this to say, I draw the fucking line. Draw a fucking line in the goddamn sand. Those are not the same experiences. Black women dating out is not the same motherfucking thing as black men dating out. Everyone knows this. Enough is enough. They cannot be allowed to eat off of your plate when it's convenient because we know that it's not reciprocated. We know that they just got off of calling you a bedwench every 2 motherfucking seconds. They're constantly throwing rape in your face as if rape is something to just like talk about. It's done in a way that's like very disrespectful. It takes away the seriousness of in the trauma of going through a rape and surviving it. It's not done because they give a shit about your well-being. It's done to make you feel like shit. They were just doing that. So, excuse me for being hella motherfucking suspicious when I see that they're suddenly trying to like switch gears here and claim to be so happy about seeing interracial couples. They're not happy to see black women dating out. I don't want to see black women get caught up in that shit of trying to commingle their experiences of dating out with black men's experiences dating out. 2 motherfucking different things. For starters, like I said, the bedwench thing, that is something that black women exclusively have to deal with. Black men don't have to deal with that kind of disrespect when they date out. In fact, they've enjoyed videos of talking about going to Brazil and fucking everyone and being cheered on for it and being supported for it overwhelmingly, at least by each other, which quite frankly is enough. Because it's enough because the black community is overwhelmingly male identified. So whatever the men fucking want to do, that seems to be just what the fuck it is for black people. So if the black men are on board with it, then that equals black people are on board with it. So they've enjoyed the male privilege of being able to talk about, sticking their dick wherever the fuck and, not being shamed for it. They also enjoy, and that goes, that ties into just a general, misogyny. Whenever you're talking about women kind of exercising sexual autonomy and exercising, control over their own sex lives or exercising options as women, especially as black women, that is often met with extreme disrespect. People just can't fucking help themselves. They gotta go down the hole in the thought and this and the that and the name calling route. It's like a fucking reflex. Men don't have to deal with that kind of burden. So, those are just 2 examples of the ways in which they're 2 different things. Not to mention the fact that, black women being a group that was disenfranchised on because of their gender, but also because of their race, they didn't have the same kind of access to just people, period. It's only now with like making moves in education, making moves and just making moves, period, that we are having access to other experiences and other people. Okay, and that's a fucking threat to a lot of people. For men, that kind of has mostly been the case. Even if for black men it's only been within the black community, the point is sexual access and being able to do what the fuck you want, when you want, where you want, and even if it is just within the black community, that's more access and that's more liberties than black women have been able to have. So it's like they're not the same thing. Let's keep those two experiences distinguished. Do not let them try and come and eat off of your plate as black women to try and make, the fact that your experience as a woman dating out is treated as kind of less threatening because you're a female. Don't let them try and like use that and come up in your space and trying to talk about, yeah, like we black people and our experience as black people dating out, because I feel like they're gonna try and do that shit and talk that game. And I think that some well-meaning black women are going to kind of like, yeah, we need to. No, 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 no. There's no we. There's no we. We wanted to think there was a we, but you know, men show themselves time and time again to be self-focused, uh, first and foremost, and black men have shown themselves to be self-preservation first and foremost. They're not about to reciprocate that shit. There is no we. There's only a we when it's convenient. And then the moment it's not convenient, it's, me as a man, I'm my own person, me as a black man. Case in point was Tyrese, right? A few years ago when he got called out for like a music video that had no black women in it. His response was, I don't do no favors. You see what I'm saying? They don't feel obligated to give you shit. So I think that it's important for black women to, you need to respond in kind. They're going to try and butter you up. They're going to try and come up in your space. They're going to try and share this whole interracial experience and make it seem like it's the same shit so that it benefits their image exclusively. Don't fall for it. Don't fucking do it. It's not to say that we don't have certain commonalities. I'm sure, that goes without saying. That's obvious. I shouldn't even have to say that, okay? But as men and women, there are certain distinctions that needs to be acknowledged and it needs to be respected, because commingling them is not going to benefit black women. So, just be mindful of that. The little game tactics and the mind games are about to start happening. So, yeah, that's it.